Hi, Sandy here. Today I'm making pink borders and tags, and don't really have any embellishments going, but I might make some. I had this table completely full of my tags and borders, and nothing is glued down. I just matched up the focal points, subjects with some borders and tags, and I'm going to add a lot of things to them. I've been doing some gluing. I've got these horizontal borders done. I've got these vertical borders done. I've got these tags done. I've got this pile of things I've been coming across. I do not like these short tags, so I've been adding a little something to the bottom excuse me, and making them longer, and they fit on my page better. Doing only 8.5 by 11 pages, which I'm never going to switch to 12 by 12 because I've been doing it 20 years, and I don't want them mixed. They look good on the shelf. So anyway, doing 8.5 by 11 pages, scrapbook pages, when you get your 4 by 6 photos on there, there's not a great deal of layouts that you can use, unless you crop a lot of pictures, which I usually don't. And then you end up with these blank spaces, which work perfectly with these borders and these tags. And so this is what I've developed over the last 20 years, and it's how I use up all of my scraps and things that accumulate. And I've been caught up with scrapbooking for a few years now, and so it's several months before each time I order pictures, and then when I do get pictures, I get them done in a matter of a few days. So I don't have much scrapbooking to do, but I do enjoy making all of these tags and borders. I make them for Christmas and holidays and birthdays and all kinds of stuff, you know, pets. And this is my table where I've been working. I've got flowers and butterflies and hearts and stickers. I cut apart all of my sticker sheets, and I sort them and organize them, and this is all my pink stuff. I sort stuff by color. I pre-make these tags. I pre-make borders, bases, tag bases and border bases that I decorate. I've got them in every color. I save the Christmas stuff. I make Christmas borders and tags. Anyway, so this is what I've been working on. I feel like talking about some other things. I've had all of my buttons and embellishments, you know, the not paper stuff, in plastic bags sorted by color. And I went to, well, I saw somebody talking on a YouTube channel about, they had these, they showed little square things with lids that were in a box that you just pull out what you want. It's kind of like a bead box, but the things come out instead of poking your finger, and you getting your finger in the corner of those little bead boxes. It's kind of hard, you know, just getting them tiny things out of there. That's why I don't keep them in bead boxes. I have in the past. So I went to, she said she got it at Harbor Freight, you know, for screws and stuff. That's what it's really made for. But you can use it for anything. So I went to Harbor Freight, and they didn't have anything that I thought I could use. I didn't see what she had. So I went to Walmart, and I thought I'm going to look in the craft department and see what they have. They just had some basic bead boxes. They didn't have much. They did have some very small little round containers that they stack and they screw on top of each other. But those were too small. And then they had some containers about this size with straight sides, and they were stacked together, 3 in a package, for $1. And they only had 7, so I could have gotten 21 of them for $7, and then I would need to buy more later. So I thought, you know, and I know I've seen these containers, but I didn't really know if they come with the lids. So I went to the paper plate section, and I got a package of 50 of these for $3. Now, I did bump it once with the lid off and it spilled. So it's better to have straight up sides. And just trying them out, $3, no loss. And you got to make sure them lids are on there tight or they're going to fall apart. And then I haven't figured out what I want to do with them. I did try putting them in one of those drawers with the flowers on the front, and they fit okay. You'd need 2 or 3 drawers. I've already used all 50 of these containers, and I still have my clear stuff. I still have more stuff. And I decided I'm going to go to Menards and buy a parts box of assorted sizes, drawers, because like my flowers, I can't put those in here. So I can put the flowers in the bottom, and they come with dividers. So I can get 2 or 3 of these into one drawer with the dividers. But then you're kind of back to the bead box. But if I don't fill them very full, they're not going to be so bad. But I'm like, and this is where I normally keep them. But I don't have the box there right now, and this goes up here. And my craft room is getting to be a mess. But I decided I'm going to buy a box from Menards for the parts and put it right there. And the funny thing is, I actually had a parts box in the garage that I was not using anymore, and I could have cleaned it up and used it, but I didn't want it at the time, and then I donated it, so I don't have that anymore. But my room, I want a bigger room, and since we redid the basement, we have a room down there that looks really nice. Got a new floor in it, except it's my brother's room. I gotta pick up this piece of paper, it's annoying me. Anyway, so I just can't wait for him to move out someday, and I can have that room. But do I really want to be in the basement? Because I like being close to my family. I'm just a few steps down the hall from the family room. All of my scrapbooks are in the family room. I don't want to go up and down 2 flights of stairs to get scrapbooks. And I'm not getting any younger. I already had a recent health problem, and that I took physical therapy and got better. So I want a new craft room, but not right now. And I got to show you what my friend gave me. I came home Friday, and I found this on my front porch in a bag. This scrapbook. You know, she knows I love to fill these with my glue book pages. And this is such a pretty color blue. I love it. And then I knew it was her because she gets this beautiful, beautiful paper. It's really thick and high quality. I don't spend that kind of money on paper, but I love this. She gave me 2 sheets of this. No, these 2 are different. Yeah, these 2 pages are different. And it's vintage, and I love it. And then 2 sheets of this, and these can be cut apart into Project Life type cards. And this is the other side. Both sides are usable. I'll probably use it both ways. I just love them. And then she gave me this stickers with trucks, and I really like them because these are for every day. And Christmas is nice, and I would use that, but like Halloween and fall, I don't do a lot of Thanksgiving and fall stuff. Oh, and this sticker was stuck inside the bag, and I will use this sticker. She must have bought some other stuff and that came off and got stuck inside the bag. So I really appreciate that. Thank you very much, Teresa. So I'll just give you a quick scan around my craft room. I got to get back. So this is where I sit. The table's a mess. I do clean up really good between each project, and I've been doing this pink one for several days. So going around. This is stuff I don't use very often. There's gift wrap on that side in the drawers of the dresser, and then the other side is fabric and yarn. And this is a folding table that I keep in here most of the time. I bought it when I had my other room, and I almost took it back because it took up more space in that room than I thought it would. And I'm glad I didn't, because I use this table all the time. So this is my shelving unit behind my desk. And this is all bead stuff up here. Not all, but mostly bead stuff. And I'm thinking I need to pack that stuff up and clear these shelves, because, well, there's my scrapbook paper. This box is for my glue books. This is various things, cutter parts and stuff. My tag bases, my raw tags that are just cut out of cereal boxes and stuff, not decorated. My photo mat frames. Some of my strips of paper, my scraps. Then I have more scraps under there. And this is my solid paper, 8.5 by 11. But this area, I put all my Christmas stuff in here, family, travel, outdoor, summer, Valentine's, various holidays, Halloween and fall, Thanksgiving, birthday, sports, bicycles, dogs, cats, wedding, school, reading, artist, miscellaneous, baby, children, teen, characters. And then this is stuff out of magazines and stuff for my glue books, sorted by theme. Silk flowers. I could probably get that off of there too, because that would make a big difference. That would make a big difference. But these books are stuff that I have made. I had this book full of borders that I had made. This book full of tags. And there are like Christmas borders and tags in these books. Each of these have some Christmas borders and tags in there, along with all the other embellishments and scraps and anything going with that subject. But these are finished borders and tags. And then these are some small tags and embellishments. These are tags and borders with things I can write on. And then horizontal borders. I've got characters, baby, and children. These are not done stuff, finished stuff. Those are things that fit in there. But anyway, my last video I had said that I have accumulated a lot of tags and borders with Holly Hobby and girls on it, and plus I love to make them with Victorian ladies. So I went through these two books, and I have a backup supply of borders down in this box down here on the bottom. I went through all of that, and I went through the horizontal borders too. I pulled all of my, all of my lady borders and tags, and all of my girl borders and tags. And then I decided, well, I'm going to pull, I like to make pickup trucks and car borders and tags. Those are good for men. And then I like to make bicycle borders and tags for when I take pictures of me riding on my bike, or they're good for other pages too. But I went through and pulled all those 4 subjects, and I totally filled up a book in just a matter of half an hour. So, and I can use these on my glue book pages too. But I did learn that I have a lot of lady borders, but not very many lady tags. So I'm making lady tags, no more borders for a while. And then I got my girls, and yeah, lots of girls. Oh, and I went through the children's teens, baby children teen book, and pulled these out, put those in with the girls. And these girls, I'll try to use them in other things. These are girls and dolls. I'll try to use them for other things, but for the most part, I'm waiting for a granddaughter. And then I made up my mind, I've got to go through this children's book, because there's nothing but a bunch of stuff in there. I've never had a boy. I have done niece or nephew photos, but pages, but I just don't have anything for boys. So I'm going to go through there and make a whole lot of borders and tags. I'm 15 minutes in already. I'm still jabbering. Anyway, but a lot of you watch me just to listen to me chatter anyway. That's what I like to do. I like to just turn on a video in the background and just listen to people talk. So I guess I will hook up my camera and we'll make some pink borders and tags and do some more talking. Alright, I'm ready to play. This is a tag that I had made a master board, and most of the papers came from my friend Kathleen. She sent me a care package with some nice things, vintage stuff. I picked out this. It says Happy Day. I've got this bird. Excuse me. But I don't really like the way it blends in so well. So I've got a lot of these. I bought a couple of pages of these. They came in a book or something. And I cut them all out. So I'm going to put this on here. Hate to cover up too much of my pattern. Yeah, that works. Okay, I don't know. Normally I like to put these little pieces of paper on the side, but I don't really want to cover up this pattern. Oh, I know what I'll do. I have some thin strips. I'll use that. And sometimes I use these thin pieces because I've got so much. I like to put all these on the sides of my tags and borders. Okay. So I'm ready to start gluing. I'm probably going to add more to this. Okay, I'm going to put this here. So today is Mother's Day. My husband was planning on making me breakfast this morning. And then he checked his texts when he got up, and he had a message from his work. Sometimes he works 12-hour days. Boy, I got something in my throat today. He works 12-hour days, but only 3 or 4 days a week. One week it's 3, the next week it's 4, and it varies a lot. He thought he had today off, but apparently he didn't, because there was a text asking him if he was going to call in or if he's going to come into work. So he's about an hour late, but he went to work. Didn't make my breakfast, but I had some really good coffee cake that I bought at the grocery store. I had a piece of that with a cup of hot tea, and so that was okay. And then my daughter, today's Sunday, on Friday I took the day off work and we drove 2 hours up to where she goes to college, and she had most of her stuff packed up. It's the end of the school year, and we loaded up the truck and brought her home. Well, she's 20. She has a boyfriend. He lives here in our town. He's not a college student. He's got a job in his own apartment. And she spends a lot of time over there with him. And I told her, I still pay all of her bills and everything. She doesn't have a job. She says she can't concentrate on studying if she's got to be distracted by a job. Okay, fine. So I'm just adding things. I like to use up a lot of my stuff. Anyway, so she spends a lot of time at his apartment. He goes and gets her a lot of time on the weekend and brings her home for the weekend, and she stays at his place. They do come over and visit a couple of times, at least once during the weekend. But I told her I want her to wake up in her own bed here at home on Mother's Day. I want her to be here. Well, then she messaged me last night and says Zach had gotten up early and he went to bed early. He's not going to bring me tonight. So I'm here by myself. But you know what? You know what I wanted to do with my time today for Mother's Day? It's about pampering yourself for Mother's Day. I wanted to play in my craft room. So I guess it all worked out. And I am going to see her later. She's going to, they're going to go to church this morning. And then after church, she's going to come over. So that's all right. So I'm looking through my papers here, looking for stuff to add to this. I need roses. I was just looking at a page of roses, and I did add a rose, but I like using lots of stuff on my pages, on my tags and borders. Okay, I think I want a butterfly. Now, my flowers and butterflies and all of my embellishment, I've used up all of my tiny, these are teeny tiny things. And I've already gone through the green, blue, and purple and used up all of these. I made tags and borders. I make them basically one color because I sort by color, and it's just, instead of having all the colors to look through, that's just overwhelming. This is how I do it, basically one color. Anyway, so I've used up all of this stuff in those 3 colors, and I'm trying to use this up. And I've kind of avoided this stuff in the past, but now I'm finding that, like, here's my butterflies, and the smaller ones are here, and here's my, I got 2 pages of butterflies. I have a lot of pages of flowers, and I put all the smaller ones here, and it grows up in size. But I'm finding that I'm really liking using the tiny things. So I think I'll be keeping my eye open for more tiny things. I do like all the sizes, but I've been using the tiny things. I don't want to cover up this happy. And I love the rose pattern. I don't want to cover that up much. I think that's enough. Now, I do enjoy adding buttons and these hard things, but I like to make several of them flat because those I can put in my glue books. I can put bumpy things in my glue books, but it's just a better for me to not have so much bulk in my glue books. Some people like their glue books really junky, and that's great. I mean, this is kind of junky, but I like them to have a nice shape. Me. Some of them have like to have a lot of stuff sticking out the sides like this. But yeah, so I can put this in a glue book, or I can do whatever I want with it. So I don't really use these in the scrapbook pages. Just had a sip of tea. Alright, that's done. I'm gonna be getting up and down a lot, going over here each time, getting another border or tag to play with. Alright, so I've got this. I bought a book of these and I've been using that up. Now these are not quite as tall as I like. They're not quite, but these they do work. They do work for me. And I had so much of these, and for a long time I was not using them. But today I've been using quite a few in this. I've been working on this a few days actually, a little at a time. You know, with work and stuff. Don't have all day to play in my craft room. Oh, I got carried away. I need to get some little scraps of paper stuck up under the side. See, and I try not to think much. There you go. That'll do. I could spend a lot of time choosing just the right ones. And I do try to, you know, if I'm doing a vintage one like with a Victorian lady, I look for vintage style and brighter colors, whatever. I do try to match them up slightly, but I don't waste no time on it. Yeah, so you know, I'm thinking I need to redo my scrap room. I think I need to take everything off the shelves and give everything a good cleaning. Not that it's really dirty, dusty, although I don't want dust much. And just rearrange things, reorganize things, and get my parts box for my things. Now, these are some adorable bunnies, and I could use this on an Easter, but I'm not going to make it Easter themed. Okay. Let's see now. This is my words book. Like I said, I cut apart all of my stickers, and then there's embellishments and things, and I sort them by color. So I want something small to go on here. So I could put Daddy's Girl on there, but then I would have to put that in with the little girl pages, and that wouldn't be a bad thing. Okay, this one just says hello. I think I will add a button. I do like adding buttons. No, not a button. I will add one of these buttons. These are flower-shaped buttons. Right there. Now, my little pieces of paper I hang off the side, I always think of those as a good base for to add an embellishment to, a good background for that. I still need to go through tags and borders, make red, orange, yellow, brown, black, and multicolor. And then I want to play with my kids' border stuff. And I go through those subject books about once a year or so and create stuff with them and organize them. Because when I get new stuff, I just drop them into a page protector pocket in there. I got to grab another tag or border. I'm going to grab a border this time. So this is a I print a lot of stuff from Pinterest for subjects, the focal point. And I've got this border base. It's pretty vintage looking, and this is basically the same kind of brownish background. This one says A Day to Remember. This one's a sticker. So put that in there. Now, things don't stick very well to the glitter. This is glitter paper. It's rough. So sometimes I'll use my liquid glue on that. But I use my glue sticks for pretty much everything else. I got to build this a little bit. I start with my 3 little things to hang off the side. But I made up my mind, when I finish playing with my pink, I'm going to take a break from tags and borders, and I'm going to work on my glue book. Or maybe, well, hopefully I get some pictures in the next month or so, because, did I just put that one back in there? I wanted that one. Anyway, I want to order pictures soon, but I don't really have enough. But next weekend is our 22nd wedding anniversary. And you know, I always keep thinking, man, I would love to just go away for a weekend or something, take a day off work, and we just never do that. But this year, we didn't take a vacation last year because of COVID. been working throughout this whole thing. And I just decided, you know what, we're going to do something. We're going to do something. So I looked online, and I don't know what I want to do. About an hour away from us is Walnut, Iowa, and it's a small little town, and it's got antique stores, lots of antique stores, and a couple of places to eat, like home-style diners. There's a bakery that serves meals. I said, you know, we ought to just spend the day there. But you know, I have seen old houses there. They have a lot of really nice old Victorian houses there. I've seen bed and breakfast signs on a couple of those old houses. So I thought, you know, it'd be fun to go to a bed and breakfast and go antiquing, just make a weekend of it, even though it's only an hour away. But yeah, let's do that. So I looked up bed and breakfast in Walnut. Well, up there, I guess there aren't any there right now. And so what popped up was a bed and breakfast in Atlantic, Iowa, which is not very far away, maybe 20 minutes away from there. So, okay, we don't mind driving. So I called, well, they had pictures of the rooms and stuff. And I like an old Victorian bed and breakfast. So I called and I reserved a room for 2 nights. So Friday and Saturday night, we're going to go spend the weekend and go antiquing. And I don't know what all we'll do. Eating out and antiquing, that's the most important stuff. So that's what we're going to do. But when we go antiquing to the antique mall and stuff, I never take pictures. But I'm thinking I really need to take some pictures while we're antiquing. Of course, I'm going to take pictures of our room. So I'm kind of distracted here. I'm looking for things I can add to this. Anyway, so that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to take some pictures of us antiquing. I want to make several scrapbook pages of okay, this is tea stuff. This is a little mouse with a tea in a teacup. So I'm going to put that on here for sure. So I'm going to make it a point to take a lot of pictures so I could do some scrapbook pages of it. And when I moved my daughter out of her dorm, I thought, well, I can make several pages of that too. And then I didn't take any pictures. And then when the room was all cleared out, I said, hey, Alex, let me take some pictures. And so I can make some scrapbook pages. I said, I don't have any pictures of you with your roommate, Monica. Oh. Mom. Fine. So I didn't take no pictures. But I wanted to. I've had this 12 by 12 sheet of chipboard stickers, and I couldn't really get them off the page without them coming off the backing, so I haven't been using them. So I recently just took them apart and cut up put them back on the backing and cut that out and sorted them into my sections, and I've been using them now. You gotta do what you gotta do. Okay, now this is going on the glitter, but that's with a glue dot, so that's gonna work just fine. Just looking for more stuff to fill this up. Ooh, I'm going to have to put this in my anniversary picture. Yes, May, my anniversary. I gotta do something with that. I'll probably forget I have it. That's that's typical. I'm getting low on small butterflies, and I've had these. These are some really cheapy stickers, and they got too much white border around them. I do like some white border because that makes them stand out, but this is just too much, so I'll trim that down. And the stickiness is totally gone, so I glue them, but I've been using them on my tags and borders. Okay, is that enough? No, it's never enough. I will grab, what's in here? This miscellaneous stuff. Oh, it's like enamel dots from Hobby Lobby, from Dollar Tree. Oh, okay. I've had these for a long time too, these little flower rhinestones. I'm going to put that on here. I did have two dull razor blades on my desk. I keep them in this thing. And I gave my daughter a roll of tape to package up, to seal up her boxes, and I put a razor blade on the end. That's a trick I do. Then you never lose the end of your tape, and you're not, scraping to get your roll of tape open, so it's always handy. And then you got your razor blade right there to cut it and put it back and save your end. But so I put one on that roll of tape for her. So it's down to one, and then I've got another one, and my desk is a mess, and I can't find it. I do have a lot of them out in the garage. That one's done. Got to go switch out for another one. So I got to find another razor blade because I need them to get the stickers off sometimes. All right, so this came with my paper trimmer, and this was behind it. It's a pink grid, good heavy cardstock. Can't throw that away, so of course I cut it into a tag. This I've had a while. What am I going to do with that? I use that for kind of a background. This is an embellishment I made a while back, and I find I don't use embellishments. So I've been making them into tags or borders. But it needs more stuff. I have a lot of solid color, so I always try to throw one solid color on most of them to use those up. I prefer print. Alright. Let's use some of these bigger flowers that I have. Okay. So those will go here. I've got a lot of tickets. I like to use those. Just any old one. Tuck that behind there. A heart? No, not a heart. I gotta use more of this stuff. Okay. There, and see, this is going to be mostly covered up, but that's okay. That's okay. Oh, I got flowers on this side, so I think I'll put the flowers on that side. And have it stick out over here. That's better. Okay, that's a good start. So I'm kind of excited about going to the bed and breakfast. So that's going to be a first for us. We've never done that before. Sometimes, you know, life just gets busy, and I go a week or two and I just have no time to get in my craft room, and I'm just itching to glue stuff, and you know, and sometimes I'm just not very inspired. But lately I have been going through the glue sticks. I have been gluing and gluing and gluing lots of stuff and having a good old time, and I'm been pretty inspired lately. Got lots of things I want to do. I think my next glue book is going to be garden. I have a big pocket full of flowers and deer and butterflies and bunnies and things for gardens. Of course, plants and flowers and landscaping and all kinds of stuff. Alright. Definitely going to put a butterfly, one of these chunky butterflies, on here. I have this strip of butterfly pattern, but it's kind of orangey, doesn't look good on there. I have got to add a couple of these things. Let's add this. Let's add these 3 little circles just to use them up. Not sure where I'm going to put them, but I am going to put them on there. When I get done with my pink, I don't want any of this stuff left. Maybe 1 or 2 pieces. I've been doing pretty good using them all. Alright, I think we'll put a little cluster of circles right there. No reason. You don't have to have a reason. Doesn't have to mean a thing. Alright. And why not add this little heart on a circle? I need a glue dot for my butterfly. Okay. And we need a punch. Alright, that's done. You know, last time I was in Hobby Lobby, I did not see these flowers. I always keep a stock of these. They last me a long time. Or maybe they did have them in I don't know. I don't think they had these flowers. A lot of times they'll have all blue, all pink, all one color. I like them mixed. But I'm pretty sure I didn't see any of these. A lot of these things that I keep on hand, I wasn't seeing. And I did not see any of these. These, they come in this little, like a Pringles can, but it's clear plastic. That's the shape of it. Maybe not that tall. And mixed colors, and I'm not finding any of these. And they have a lot of flowers, like this is my stuff that is too thick to put on glue book pages. They have a lot of flowers like this, with a big thick bead on them. I don't want that much thickness on my scrapbook pages, and certainly not in my glue books. Except they're soft flowers. They're beautiful flowers. Yeah, I've got all of these, but they're so thick. I can use them on a craft project, but not in my glue books. See, that is just too thick. So I won't use that. And I've pulled all this stuff out because it's too thick. Alright, okay, I'm going to do a border now. One of my border bases. This is an embellishment I had made. I think I printed this off embellishment. I printed this off Pinterest. I think there was a page of them. And then I cut them out. Oh yeah, and I glued them onto a background paper, and it's coming loose a little bit. Good enough. Then I printed this off Pinterest, cut it out, and used my corner rounder. I need more stuff. Now, I've got a lot of very large roses, flowers. I think they're going to be too big. Maybe not. It's on this page. I'm kind of going for this one because it looks good with that. Yeah, that's a lot, but I'm going to use it. That's what it's for, to use it. Okay. I try to get these shapes. I don't want just three perfectly arranged points sticking out on here. I like them very random. Those are not sticking very well because they're sticking to each other, but not to that because this has glitter on it. I've used the glue more this time than I have. I don't use this hardly ever. There. I'll put that lower because the rose is going to hide that. Alright. Now when I finish all of my pink borders and tags, and I think I might make even more than what's on that page because I have a lot of stuff here. I mean, more than what's on that table. When I get totally done, I'm not going to videotape all of it. You'll be watching me for hours, days. But, and it's probably going to be a few days before I get this posted. Anyway, but, I will show you all of my finished tags and borders, And I'm going to go through all of these stacks of embellishments and condense them down. And I've done that with every color so far. And I end up with a few blank pages, which is good because I've got too much stuff, don't we all? And we'd like to buy new stuff. We gotta... Oh, I just remembered. I think these are stickers. Some of these are stickers. Yes, this one is a sticker. There you go. Yes. I think I need to put a little glue on here. On that glittery part. Alright. Okay. Now we gotta dress it up. I'm gonna add this circle with a heart on it. This looks like a little gemstone. I had a bunch of these and I'm almost out of them. These came with some Disney princess stuff that my daughter had, who is now 20. And I just save everything. You know, I remember when my daughter was little, and I was scrapbooking at the time. So I had lots of stickers. And I would let her play with my stickers under supervision. To me, stickers go in art projects and things like that. But kids put them all over the walls, all over the place, you know. So I don't like kids having stickers. And a lot of places we would go, somebody would hand my daughter a sticker. I don't want to have a sticker. Oh, I'm trying so hard to use up these things. I've got a lot of hearts. I should just be generous with the hearts. Mix and match hearts. And let's find a butterfly. Again, a small butterfly. Don't really have room for a large one. I'm looking for the butterfly. I see one page of butterflies, but I'm not seeing the other page. I got this stuff all mixed up. There they are. There they are. I don't love this butterfly, but I'm going to use it. Because that's how I do. I just use everything. Oh, there is a butterfly there. We're going to add another butterfly. Where? Right there. Alright, we'll call that one done. I think I'll add one more and then I'm going to wrap up the video. Until I show you all the finished ones. Alright, this is from that same masterboard that I cut up, a bunch of scraps. This I've had for a long time. What am I going to do with that? I've been using up a lot of these things like this for a background, tucking it behind things, and that's been using up stuff. Alright, there. I almost forgot my little squares. Alright, that'll do. So, I was off work for 2 months because of, I had a problem with my spine. I don't know really what I did to bring it on. It was affecting me kind of like sciatica. I didn't really have any back problem, but the spine controls all your muscles, your nerves, and it was shooting excruciating pain to my hips, thighs, and knees. But I went to physical therapy and took lots of pain medicine and muscle relaxers, and I got better. I went back to work. But Thursday, my husband has a little side mowing business, and my brother lives with us and he helps. But he is out of town right now. Thursday I came home and he had been out mowing, and it's hard to get that mower. We just have a pickup truck. We don't have a trailer or anything. We don't want a trailer. But my husband had been out mowing and not getting much done without my brother's help. And so when I got home, I called him, "Where are you at?" So he was just finishing one yard, and he came and picked me up and took me to the next yard. And it's a big yard. It's like a house with a vacant lot next to it, and not a huge vacant lot, a small vacant lot, but it's all one big yard. And so we mowed that, and it's all flat, but I helped him mow that. And then we went to another yard, and this one, in the front landscaping, is super steep hills. And I said, "I'm not touching those hills. I'll do the level part," which I did, and he did the hills. And and I wear a pedometer, and I usually get in 10,000 steps a day just doing my job. I already had that. But I got in over 21,000 steps that day, and I wasn't really tired, but wow, my legs started hurting, my thighs were starting hurting, mild pain, nothing like I had before, but oh. So I took some, I'm just so afraid of this coming back. I took an anti-inflammatory, which I haven't been taking in a while. And I have a pill that, actually I have 2 anti-inflammatories. I took them both. And one of them makes you tired. So I slept pretty good that night. And then I was kind of groggy the next day, but I'm feeling much, much better. It's not anything lasting, but it's just a little reminder for me. I have to be very, very careful about what I do, because I really don't know what's going to bring these on. I don't know if I love that arrangement. I don't hate it. But it's fine. I'm going to add a little flour up here and call this done. I need a glue dot. Alright, that one's done. Okay, I'll see you soon. Alright, I think I was making this video on Mother's Day on Sunday, and now it is Wednesday night. I have made so many tags and borders working on my pink. This is my embellishment book with the small tags and embellishments on it, and I've used up some of them on my borders and tags, and I've eliminated 4 pages. 2 page protectors and 4 pages of those, and I will add some more back when I add some small tags that I made that will later end up on borders, and I just made one embellishment, so that's tidied up. This is my, I got this butterfly folded over, I gotta fix that. My pink butterflies, flowers, stickers, embellishments. I just condensed everything down after making a lot of tags and borders. I eliminated 3 pages, plus I pulled things like this that I make my tags and embellishments with, and I have another place where I'm keeping this stuff to get it used up, and I eliminated 3 pages of that. Now I'm putting things away as I go. That's how I work. It's nice to have my desk cleared off with all my pink stuff. This is all my tags and borders that I have made. So let's get started, and I'll show you all of them. These I had already made previously, but I like my tags 3 by 5, and I use cereal boxes and stuff, and when I have a good size scrap of that, I was making them a little bit short, and I just don't like the short ones. So these I just added, made them longer, added something to the bottom, and some of them some more embellishments. So that one I fixed up. This one. This one. This one I added polka dots in these enamel dots, whatever they are. Made that one longer and added a heart. Added this strip and a butterfly. This one I just added the pink polka dots, and it just really works well. This one I added the scrap with flowers on it, and this flower. This one I added this strip, and this needed a little bit more, so I found this wavy one. I added that. This one I added the pink strip and lighter pink strip and these rhinestones. This one I added the pink strip and this flower. So those I had already made, but now I'm happy with those. This is the only embellishment that I made. It's just a little cat on a square. These are the small tags that I made. Now 2 of these are rectangular tags. They got the little punch here. It's not actually punched, it's printed on there. So I decorate. Well, here it is the next day. I was videotaping, and I went through and I showed you all of my tags and borders, only to realize that the camera shut off. So I'm going to try it again. So I'm pretty sure where it stopped. I already showed you my little cat embellishment and these small tags. Yeah, I showed you those. The teddy bear, the 2 ladies, flowers, and a bird. Okay. And I think I started by showing you these that I added onto because they were too short. I had made these previously and I added onto those. I'm not sure I show you. I added onto the bottom of all of them. Some of them I added a little something to it. Not sure if that I was thinking I showed you these first and then moved on to those, but I just looked at the end and I saw those. I don't think I showed you these, but anyway, I like the 3x5, and these were short, and I didn't like them, so I made them the size that I do like. Okay, now we're going to slow down a little bit, because I know I didn't show you these. This one, these are my pre-made horizontal borders and bases. I just added these cats to this one. I added the foam flower, butterfly, and a ticket. This one I just added Dreaming Big and some flowers. This one I added When Life Hands You Lemons. I actually wrote that on there myself. This one, Good Times, and the butterfly. This one I added the sweet and 2 pink roses. I hope you can see that on there. It's the exact same color, but it's pretty. Okay. And my borders, vertical borders. A lot of these I used previously made small tags. I like this size tags, 3x5. So I'm using those to make borders, and I'm using like the Project Life type card to so you can write something on and just to use them up. So this is Cutie Pie little doll. This is a girl. I think I'm not even going to go there. I recently made this one. It's a little bunny, cute bunny in flowers. I added rhinestones. This is a Victorian house. Today is a stay-at-home kind of day with little mice in a teacup. Stop and Smell the Roses. And here's 2 little girls having a tea party. And a Boyd's bear and some embellishments. This, let me try to hold it real steady. It's a kitten on a little shelf. There's a goldfish in a bowl, doilies, teacups, a pitcher with flowers. It's just really pretty. And I added this cat and embellishments. Beautiful. And this is a doll. Love You Always, with teacups, and a Boyd's. This is a Boyd's out of a Boyd's catalog. They usually do bears, but they sometimes do cats and bunnies and maybe other animals. I added this bird and this card, and this was rectangular, and I turned it into an oval. A Day to Remember. And this is from Pinterest. It's got a teacup and a teapot and a family picture and books, antique style. Here's Delightful with a bunny and a big flower. Smile, that's a tag I made with a bird and some rhinestones. A tag today, some roses and this little thing with a lady and roses, very vintage looking. Here's a cute puppy with some roses and embellishments. This is a tag with a mason type jar, a Project Life type of card with a bird and a picture. This is a little angel with a big rose, bird, a Project Life card. I added happy and the butterfly on there. Rose tag, embellishments, and a bunny and teacups, cherries, and a embellishment, and a bird and flower. And now the 3x5s, which I accidentally got mixed in with my smaller ones. Okay, here's a Holly Hobby. And I used a lot of these little frames on a lot of these tags. This is a different shaped tag with Victorian ladies. Another Holly Hobby. Victorian lady. a vintage bicycle. This was already printed on here. I added the butterfly and these embellishments. Victorian ladies of Paris. This is a big embellishment, Nature Life. Added a few things. A bicycle, and I added a bird. This is an embellishment that I had previously made, and then I added it and added some more stuff. This was another embellishment I had made, and I added more stuff. These are stickers from Dollar Tree sticker pages. Just added 2 of them there with some embellishments. A bird with one of those frames. Bunnies with some stuff. Holly Hobby, another one of those pink frames. Birds with the pink frame. This was a big circle with these flowers around it, and this is an embellishment I had made, making memories and the flowers, and I just put it on there and added some stuff. That's a Boyd's Bear. This is an embellishment I had previously made, and I added more stuff. This is, that was printed on there, and this was the same one. You know, they're totally different. I used them. This was also, both of these were printed like that. Those were from the same paper pad or whatever. I think they came from a 6x6 paper pad. And I buy 6x6 because I like the scraps. I use them for scraps because I like a lot of print paper. So I got those. There's another bird. This was an embellishment I had previously made. It's just a heart with the story and butterfly. I added more stuff. This was printed from Pinterest. I put it on a Project Life card. This had like an oval shape, and I just covered it up and used it for a frame. Another Holly Hobby. Another embellishment. I added a little Boyd's Bear right there. Find joy every day. That was a big sticker, and I turned it into a tag. This, many years ago, I tried making pocket letters. You use baseball card holders with 9 pockets, and you make something for each pocket, and you exchange them with people, and I never had anybody to exchange them with, and I ended up using them. I think this is the last one I have. I ended up using all of those things I put in the pockets for scrapbook page embellishments. This was a embellishment, My Wish sticker. I added this, and then I just added more stuff. This was a small embellishment, just a rectangular print paper, always in my heart, with this flower, and then I added this card and the little things and a circle and this heart and another matching flower, and that's done. This is the same type of embellishment I just did with that one. Added some more stuff. This was in the print. The bird was in the print of this cardstock I made a tag base out of. This was an embellishment I had made with a circle and these things on it, and I added more stuff. There's a mouse that says hello. And this was printed from Pinterest, and I added more stuff. Now, I had made some 11-inch border bases like this, but then I decided I'm not going to use those vertical on my pages anymore. So I started making some like this when there was, you know, things going in this direction, and then I cut off the end and I made them wider to fit my page, because when you get 2 pictures on there, you need something wide to fill up the space. So I have a lot of these squares, and I've used a lot of them for embellishments on tags and borders, and I don't waste anything. So that's everything I made. I'll put it all back in my box. Now this is just pink, well, of course, and I do have a lot more pink. These are mixed colors right here. I have a lot more pink than most of the other colors. I do have a lot of blue, but each color. Just look at all the scraps and stickers and little bits and pieces that would probably not get used for anything else, and I've used them, and they will be decorating. Eventually they will be decorating scrapbook pages, and if they never make it to a scrapbook page, it's just a pretty little work of art. And I have on my wall, I have a banner with little, well, I just hung up a string with some, and I got cute little clothespins from Hobby Lobby, and I've got a bunch of tags hanging from the wall, on the wall, just, and I can change them out, although I haven't in a couple of years. They're the same one sitting there. My room is pink and those are pink. So anyway, thanks for watching. This video is kind of long, but it's nice chatting along with you. Bye bye.